So my favorite trait in any Total War player is the attitude of never quitting, never giving up. And that's what you're going to see in today's battle. The never quit attitude. No matter what the odds are, no matter how difficult a situation is, players that look at their army comp, whatever they have left, you know, say it's the end of the battle and they've only got 4 units left, and they're defending or they're attacking or whatever it may be, they look at the situation and they try to use every single unit, every single weapon at their disposal the most efficient way possible to try to scratch and crawl out of a battle with a victory. And that is what you're going to see today, guys. Just a glorious never quit attitude, which I think I'm very, I love that. I love seeing that in Total War players when they just, because sometimes players, when they feel like, oh, it's over, let me just send out my units and get this over with. No, you fight until the end. You give it your all, because sure, you might end up losing, but you'll learn so much. Maybe a unit did something, super well, or you tried this strategy that worked out really well, and sure, it wasn't enough to help you win, but it was something, it's something you can learn about and something you can do in the future and use it against your opponents. It's a really good learning experience. It's a really good just attitude that I like to see in players, especially when they're on my team, obviously. But that's what I just recommend to all Total War players, all Rome 2 siegers. Never give up. Never give up, no matter the situation. Go out, scratching, screaming, be loud, and make it difficult for your opponent. And like I said, we're going to see that in today's battle, where we have Rome versus Sparta and the Armenians. And what happens here is that the Spartans end up playing alone, because the Armenians, they end up going AFK. So they just kind of sit there, and then I think eventually they just disconnect. So it's up to Sparta against 2, not 1, but 2 Roman armies to try to hold on to this settlement and get a victory for the defenders. Now, we'll see how that plays out. And again, I just wanted to take this video and kind of show you guys this video on the kind of attitude you should have in Total War. How you should play, and if you want to get better at the game, have that attitude. Even if you suck at the game, never quit, because you'll learn so much, and it will make you a better player. And also, the enemy team will appreciate it. Your opponents will appreciate the fact that you've got this great, people want a good fight. They don't want to see their opponents quit. So, I don't know. It's not that, there's an issue going on in the Total War community where people are quitting all the time. And it does happen. It does happen more than I like. But, it's just something I wanted to kind of promote, and something that, I feel like is really, really cool. Anyways, let's get into this battle, right? So the Spartans are moving up. It looks like he's got some hoplites that are going to be the front line of the defense. 3 units of hoplites. They're about to clash with the legionary cohort down over this way. Actually, okay. Okay, so no, actually, okay, the Armenians, I don't know why I struggle with that word, with that name. I don't know. It's like I want to say Armenians, but it's Armenians. All right, anyways, but they sally out some cav. So they're not quite AFK from the start. I think eventually they go AFK and disconnect. So that is good that they're not completely, not existent in the battle. But he is slowing down one of the siege towers and trying to prevent them to get up to the wall. Good tactic there. Just try to help the defenders from, prevent them from being overwhelmed right away. Nice little charge there by the Spartan hoplites. These hoplites are holding this choke point here. The arrow towers are still active. Artillery is crashing down, really opening up this point. So the Romans have some artillery trying to soften up this area. And that's going to make it even more challenging for the Spartans to hold. And it looks like Sparta just lost a ton of units from that artillery hit. I don't know what happened there, but they're down to 89 men when they originally had 120. Back over this way, the Spartans are still holding. The Armenians are pushing up some hillmen. Sparta is holding over on this side as well, as the Romans continue to push in and clash. But yeah, They're trying to hold. They are trying to hold. So far so good from the Spartans. They are pushing up some reinforcements. Looks like they got the cheap spears here, medium spear infantry. They do have some Javi capabilities, which is going to be very helpful. The Romans are clashing through this breach point that has been recently knocked down. And this is going to be really tough for the Spartan forces. I mean, the problem with Sparta is that they're a very good defensive unit, and they're defending right now, so that's good, right? But the issue with them is that they don't really have killing capabilities, as in they don't have swordsmen. They do not have sword. They're all spears, and they do have some good archers. You know, they've got the mercenaries. They've got some really like morale, disciplined units, so they'll stay in the fight like most hoplites. The hoplites are really great, are just staying alive, staying in the fight, but they just don't have the killing capability. And that's why I always see Sparta in multiplayer siege battles as a support faction. They, like, when you have Sparta and let's say you have the Seleucids, that's a deadly combo because the Seleucids have the power to kill people. They have the sword aggressive units, and you mix that with Sparta, you've got best of both worlds. You've got a really strong defensive hold the line unit, and then you also have the very aggressive unit. And again, that's why the Seleucids are so good, because they also can be very defensive. Seleucids, Egypt is a really good one, Carthage, all three of those factions have both aggressive and defensive capabilities. Anyways, we're getting back to the fight where there's some armored legionaries pushing in against the Spartans. Sparta's getting hammered here right now, just overwhelmed by the Roman war machine. Over on the other sides of the battlefield, seems like the Armenians have their hillmen in the fight. Sparta's still trying to hold on to over here, but it is crumbling fast. Now we're getting some supporting archer fire on this very awesome position, this little stone hedge here. But there's the deadly archers that the Spartans can field to a battle. But again, it's one of the few killers they have, you know what I mean? I don't know why. I have no idea why CA made Sparta so incapable to have swordsmen, I mean, it would have been cool to have like a hoplite hybrid. Wouldn't it be awesome? Like, you would have a hoplite unit that could either be aggressive or defensive, as in, either you want them to hold the line like these guys are doing right now, or they kind of act like a thorax swordsman where they drop their spears and they take out their swords and they're a bit more aggressive. I wish there was more units like that in Total War, where it's a bit of a hybrid unit. Now, of course, there's a couple archers in Rome too that are versatile, right? They're decent in melee, which, that's always cool. But I wish there was more melee versatile units, whether it be defensive or whatever. Anyways, they've broken through over on this side. Rome is just hammering this outer position. And, I think this is the point where they're just AFK. Look at this. Their units have just been sitting here. The Persian hoplites just sitting here. It's just crumbling. The Armenians are not pushing up any units. And look at this is exactly what you have to do. It's really tragic. It is absolutely tragic. The Spartans have to fall back and hold the inner city because it keeps it to 3 choke points. So you got one here, and one here. So those are your 3, and Sparta will excel at holding these choke points. That's what they're made for, those Spartan hoplites. They are going to be excellent at holding those positions, but they don't have a killing, aspect to his forces, and that's where I get a little concerned. I'm like, okay, well, they can hold, but they can't kill, and sure, they can make the battle last longer, but is it going to be enough? Anyways, the Spartans, what's left, trying to hold on to, as much ground as possible, slow down the Romans as much as possible so he has more time to set up his defenses up there. Again, the Armenians are just doing nothing. And I assume this is the point where they go AFK. And they're actually breaking some of the Romans here. Some armored legionaries down to 14 men. I mean, I mean, yeah, and then they stop breaking. I mean, Rome is so good because they do have that discipline. You know what I mean? Where you'll have a unit come down to 14 men and they keep fighting. That's crazy. Over here, yeah, sure enough, the Armenians are just getting chewed up. Units that just were left out there because they went AFK. Thankfully, though, for Sparta's sake, the Eastern archers are on fire at will, so they are going to be trying to kill as many units as possible. No thanks to the player, but yeah. And by the way, guys, I don't want whoever this player is. He could have had a serious situation where he had to step away from the game. I'm not putting blame on the player. I'm not saying he's being toxic or anything, but I'm just saying this is what happened. You know, he went AFK. And Sparta's left to stand alone. So I'm not blaming him. And again, if you see him in game or something, don't hurrah, because again, he could have had like a situation where he had to go. You know, I don't know. We don't know the whole story, but this is what happened. And it looks like he's already out of ammo. Holy crap! He used up that ammo quick. That's the thing about fire at will. I usually never have my archers in a siege battle on fire at will because I am very selective about the targets that I go after. You know, with archers, you want to go after units that are really good in melee. You know, you want to take out their elite units. You want to take out their archers. You know, take out the enemy archers. Take out a general. You know, snipe out a general if you can. So that's just one thing that I like to, you know, I like to do with my archers. Turn off skirmish mode, turn off fire at will, and use them very precisely, so to speak. And there we go. We've got some pikemen setting up with the Royal Spartans. Now, that's one unit I kind of forgot to mention about killing potential. The pikemen do have killing potential. But again, the thing about pikes is they're not as much of a workhorse as, say, like thorax swordsmen, if you get what I'm saying. As in, you know, thorax swordsmen are just tough. They are a tough unit. You can throw them in many different situations and they will do well. Pikemen are very focused and like selective of what they excel in. As in, they excel at holding choke points, but if you outflank them, if they get hit too hard from archers, you got a problem. You got a problem on your hands. So there you go. Some hillmen left out there are dying. I think we got some archers right behind. This is a good position for archers. Got a little bit of a high ground so they can shoot over, you know, their comrades who are holding this front line. Back over here, we've got lots of archers from Rome. And honestly, guys, I don't think Rome has even used their archers yet, except until right there. So that's going to be a problem for Sparta. They're going to get just hammered by arrow fire. So they're just getting hit hard. Romans are now pushing up infantry, attacking this flank. Over on this side, it's the same thing. The pikes are not in pike formation. They're not in phalanx formation yet. They don't have their pikes out. They should, though, to help this unit back here. Of course, we got more archers over this way. Little concerned about this. Actually, did these archers use their ammo already? No, they have their bows out. So a little fun fact, in case you didn't know, if an archer is out of ammo, they drop their bows and have daggers in their hands. I personally, I kind of like it, but I kind of don't, because it makes you really like, it's harder, it's less obvious when an archer's out of ammo, because you really got to zoom in, and it's like, okay, they got their daggers, they're out of ammo, so I'm not going to shoot at them because that's a waste of my ammo. But I kind of like that, but I also kind of like seeing how much ammo. Like in Attila, it'll actually give you a little bar, a little progress bar of how much ammo they have. And that kind of helps a lot just by quickly glancing at it and stuff. Okay, so at this point, guys, the Armenians are not back. They left the game, and they're now being controlled by the AI. So that's why they are all of a sudden just moving everybody, as the AI naturally does. Just sends everything out. And classic, good AI move here of going out and trying to be aggressive. That's exactly what you want from your AI. So yeah, they are holding. Spartans are now full on holding over here. And we got, I think, slingers moving up. And that's a good target to focus down. Take out these slingers, because Well, actually, I think they're out of ammo. Well, maybe they should stop firing at them. But I assume they just ran out of ammo. But they break from the battle. The archers over here are having a bit of an archer battle. Pretty good positioning from Sparta. You know, they've got the walls kind of protecting them. What are they shooting at? Are they yeah, I think they're shooting at the pikemen, which have now entered the battlefield. Very good move here. Very good move from Sparta. Very, very good move. There we go. The other pikemen have finally got into phalanx formation. We have the AI trying to use the scorpion. Hopefully this works out, but I'm not really seeing it. What are they doing? Let's hope they don't push through this formation, because that's going to disrupt the Spartan formation. Might leave holes in their lines. Yeah, that's not good. So Sparta's holding there, and they're doing a good job. They're doing a good job. Look at their breaking. So that's the challenges of Sparta and these choke points. It's like, it takes time. It takes time to break through these choke points, and you will lose a lot of men taking on these Spartans. So there is definitely hope. Now the balance of power is not looking good. It's not looking good, but if any faction could do this, it's Sparta. Again, it's really just a matter of what happens when they run out of ammo. That's the biggest concern, because that, like I said 100 times in this replay, and you're probably sick of me saying this, but this is their killing unit. The archers are their killing unit, and the pikemen, But yeah, they're getting hit hard by the archers, and they kind of have to wait out the archers too. And that's another issue, is the javies. I mean, look at this. Javies are just tearing these guys up. Just tearing these guys up. Archers are trying to fight back and kill the Roman archers, the Syrian archers. Here comes another charge from the legionaries. I assume they used up all of their javies, or their pila, I should say. Back over this way. Sure enough, the Scorpions pushed up into the Spartan formation, and the same thing's happening here. He's just getting hit hard by these archers, and because he's just one player, he doesn't have enough archers to deal with all of the Roman archers. But yeah, Sparta takes care of that, and what do? Well, they pull up another unit of Royal Spartans. And the best chances for Sparta to win this battle is hopefully these guys run out of ammo, and hopefully the Romans used up a lot of their pila. Now they are moving up their Praetorian Guard. This is a very dangerous unit that the Spartans are going to have to take care of. But they definitely can hold in these choke points. We'll see how this plays out, though. Sparta is starting to run out of reinforcements, though. Over on this side, he might have to pull a couple units. He's got a lot of units over here, and I think it's a little bit overkill compared to the other side. Looking at reinforcements, look at this. The AI's going in, baby. They're going around the flank. I was looking at the Roman reinforcements, the reserves, and they're getting attacked right now. And I don't know if Rome realizes it. I don't think he realizes it. But the Armenians coming out from the flank, the AI is getting something done. Who knows? They might be able to crush his flank. You know what might be crazy, guys? Might be crazy. But if Sparta can break these units, he might even want to consider pushing out and trying to kill these guys really quickly. Probably not. But you kind of have to take crazy risk like that to try to win these battles when you're, the odds are against your, you gotta kind of sometimes do risky things that could backfire, but at least you attempted something to try to win the game. You know what I mean? It's like, yes, it backfired, but if it did work, we could have potentially won. So those kind of things, that kind of situation. And again, that's that no quit attitude, looking for, kind of thinking outside the box, and this is definitely looking outside the box situation. Oh my God. Did he have, what is this? Oh, the onager. A ship? Wait, he had an onager ship? What? 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 Where are the... I had no idea. He had ship onagers. What a waste of a unit. What a waste. And look at his cab just ran through his own stakes. Oh my god. Yeah, in this situation, I do not recommend you get especially if you're defenders, don't get a ship with an onager on it. Because if I'm attacking, right? If I'm attacking this settlement, they've got a ship over here. I'm just going to stay away. It's a ship. It can't come on land. Just stay away from it and attack over here. But anyways, let's go back over this way. The Praetorians are getting chewed up here a little bit, but so are the Spartans. And I think all they have left is their Royal Spartan General, which they're probably going to have to shift over here pretty soon. There we go. They're actually falling back. The Spartans hold their ground. They're getting hit, though, hard by arrows. Unfortunately, the Romans still have ammo. And it's one of those things you just got to wait it out. You know, they did move over, they did move over archers to try to suppress the attacking archers a little bit. But at the end of the day, it's one of those things where you just don't have an answer for their archers, and you just got to wait them out. You just got to hope they run out of ammo and they don't kill a lot of your men. All right, but here we go. We got a general v general. Holy crap, if he kills the Roman general here, I think he's going to lose too. That's not, well, maybe not. I mean, I would assume these knights are better than the bodyguard of this Roman general, but it looks like the Armenians are going to win over here. So there goes that glorious rally charge from the Armenians, but it doesn't really work out. But in all seriousness, if he was an actual player and he did do that little maneuver, because it almost seemed like the Romans had no idea you could go that way. That's not a terrible tactic, you know, send a couple cav units or a couple infantry units and wait until the Romans are fully committed here, and then boom, hit them on the flank and you'll break a bunch of units. So, you know, the AI had the right idea. It's just the execution was pretty poor. And they didn't have any infantry. I don't know, man. It's just, that's tough. That's tough for the Spartans. But the Spartans fight on, man. And look at the bounce of power. It's not good, but it hasn't shifted too much. And see, that's the problem, man. That right there is the problem. Not only do you have to deal with the archer fire, but you also have to deal with the pila. And it's just, it's frustrating. Look at that. The pila was such a deadly weapon because of how the metal of the tip of the spear essentially would bend, right? So you would throw it, and the idea is not even to kill, right? The idea is to throw it, have the weapon get stuck in the enemy's shield, and the way it would hit it and bend would make it so that shield, like, it's not easy to pull that spear out. So that shield has a giant pila in it, and it's heavy, and you can't use it as effectively, so they just have to drop it. And that leaves them without a very important tool, which of course is the shield. So yeah, I mean, I get it, because sometimes I think in my head, like, but they're hoplites. They've got these big shields, they can defend themselves, but that's the nature of pila, is that they're good at breaking down units that have shields, you know? That's what they're made for. Anyways, yeah. Spartans rally with some forces over here. The general is now committed into this battle. I'm sure the archers are starting to run out of ammo, which they are. They're going to have to be used as infantry. Unfortunately, the pikemen over here, or no, these are Spartan hoplites. They are breaking. But the good news is that the Romans are kind of wasting ammo on them. Now they're going after the other units. There we go, the pila being thrown. They can beat this army. The Spartans can beat this army. I'm not saying charge in. I'm just drawing here. But if the Romans charge in, especially if they charge in one at a time, oh, they can beat them. These Spartans can hold on to this flank. They can hold on to this flank. And look at Sparta, man. Just never quitting. I love it. I love it. No matter the odds. And the bounce of power, I think it went up a little bit. The Romans are running low, guys. They're running low. They're out of ammo. That is a good sign. They're out of ammo, and Sparta still has enough troops to hold every flank. Now, here's the only problem. This flank. But I don't even think it's a problem. Rome is making a big mistake here by not moving. All it takes is 1-2 units, go up this road, and you're going to be behind enemy defenses because Sparta does not have any reserves. They have nothing to defend this flank. And the fact that Rome is not sending 1 unit, all it takes is like a depleted 1 unit, and that would get them through this defense. But they're not going for it. They're not going for it. And sometimes, hey, that's another thing. Never get too confident. Just because you're looking at the balance of power, I've seen crazier things in Total War. You know, I've seen some crazy comebacks in my Total War career, I guess you could say. And you've got to, you know, you can't just be like, oh, let me just mindlessly throw in my units because this is over. No, you got to be careful, and you got to use everything you have to win. You know, never underestimate your opponent. No matter how cornered and, you know, how, I don't know, sad they look, they can still pull out a victory. Here comes another pike unit over here. I think they shifted this pike unit. Oh, they're going to get the tower back. Excellent. See, they're looking at everything they have at their disposal. A tower. Get it back. Get it firing. Everything adds up. It fires fire arrows. You know, it could do a lot of damage. So I don't know how he lost it, though. How did the Romans neutralize that? I don't know. Back over this way. Oh, this is tough. I mean, that's an ocean of Romans. Look at this. Look at this battle scene right here. Just awesome. Never quit attitude. Hold this line, Royal Spartans. Okay, the pikemen are actually going back. You see that? So they've got some Royal Spartans, 11 of them, mixed in with the general, 113. The pikemen are going back. He just used it to capture. And see, that's another thing. Like, that's where cav can come into play, because oftentimes defenders don't like to get cav, especially if they're being really defensive. But, you know, having a single cav unit running around and kind of capturing things and supporting units, it's really useful in a defense. But, hey, he's doing what he can. He's using what he's got. He might go over here and capture this arrow tower now. Again, I don't know how the Romans are neutralizing this. I find it to be a little ridiculous. Because, I mean, technically they're on the border of the capture range. But, I mean, come on. Like, you can't have 2 guys that happen to be in the border area neutralize this. It's a little ridiculous. But this pike unit could certainly turn the tide of this battle right here. Let's see how this goes. I love the officer, too. Love the officer. He's like, come on. Let's do this. For Sparta. Oh, no. The Romans use Intimidate on the Spartans. The pikemen have pushed up. Combat is even, guys. That's a good sign for Sparta. But this is the real problem right here. They now have the Praetorian Cav flanking around the Spartan general. The Spartan general, if he can just hold on. If he can just hold on. Look, this is the last of Rome. They can still do this. They need a chain round. That's what they need. They need to quickly defeat them over on this side, too. Oh, my God. I don't know if Sparta's going to be able to hold on to this. This is a problem. And sure enough, these units might flank around. See, with this cav, I would push this way and try to put pressure on this pike unit. And then if I was the Spartans, I would just turn the pikes around and hold that. So that's what I would do in that situation. But it looks like Rome is not doing this isn't a bad idea. Go after the general, kill the general, and you can easily break the spirits of the Spartans. But here's the thing, the general for Sparta, the Royal Spartans, whew, they are tough. They will be surrounded, and they will fight on. We've seen this many times. We saw that in my, Athens versus Sparta video, where my general just went ham. But here they come. All right, there we go. So sure enough, they're going to do that. If he charges in like a madman, please charge in. Oh, my God, he's going to do it. Oh, my God. Why? He charges. He must have not have been paying attention. He probably thought, oh, the pikemen are looking the other way. That just completely destroyed a very expensive unit, Praetorian Cav. Wow. Oh my God, Sparta can still win this. It's all about the general. Can the general fight for his life here? Not even for his life, but for his country. Can he fight and buy enough time for this side to win their fight? Now, this Cav unit is dead. They are breaking. They're dead. Actually, they've completely shattered. These pikemen need to quickly turn around and break these Romans. And look at this never quit attitude, man. Like, see, a Spartan player could have just been like, whatever, charge the back of my men. I don't care. Let's get this over with, you know? But Sparta's doing everything he can to pull out a victory here. All right, here comes some archers. General still surrounded, has 200 and look at the kills just constantly moving up. 234, 230. Oh, a little bit of a slow. Come on, they're 36. Beautiful. So they're constantly just getting kills there, but they're surrounded, you know. And looks like the Romans are using sheer numbers to try to break through, and they are going for a cap victory. The Romans are going for a cap victory, and did they? Okay, cool. They finally sent over some units to flank. That's good. So they finally sent a unit over this way. So it's looking rough for Sparta, I'm gonna be honest. It's not looking good. The balance of power still hasn't really shifted, but that's not necessarily a good thing. There's another war cry. They're actually now shifting over units. They've defeated the Romans mostly over here. And now they're gonna go and fight for this capture point. And oh my God, look at this. This is what I'm talking about, guys. The Spartan general causing a huge chain rout. The Spartan general with 300 kills. This is what I'm talking about. There's something about the Spartan general that is just so impressive that they fight like no other, man. They fight like no other. And it's like they thrive being surrounded. Like, that's the best case scenario for them. Like, yeah, we're surrounded. Perfect. Now, no matter what direction we attack, there's enemies. You know, like, they're crazy. I still don't know if it's enough, though. They've got Praetorian Guard in the back. They've got this general. But, my God, they've done a lot. And look at this, man. The Spartans are still in this fight, dude. They're still holding. They got this Heroes of Sparta moving up. Look at these heroes. These are truly heroes. Holding against Rome. So awesome. Look at that. They're like, hold. Everything they can to try to win. Over this way, unfortunately, Heroes of Sparta are getting surrounded. Unfortunately, the general finally, he just couldn't take it. They break, but I don't think they break. They fought to the end. They fought to the last man. And can they win this, though? Probably not. Let's see. They're down to this one unit of Heroes of Sparta. Balance of power has gotten worse. Good charge there by the Romans. I think that's going to wrap it up for the Spartans. But what a fight. What an epic last stand there of just never quit attitude and almost pulling out a victory. Almost pulling out a victory. So we're going to go ahead and end the replay. Look at the results. So King Scourge, also known as King Man. So he is a good friend of mine. I've known him for a long time. He did an excellent job in this defense. 2,000 kills, getting the most kills. Looking at his army, I think that if he saved, so I think he easily could have won this battle if this archer unit did a little bit better. Also, this one too, 78 is not terrible, but he could have gotten something like this, 182 kills or 128 kills. But if two of his archer units did a little bit better, and if he was able to save like one, if he just was able to save one more unit from the outer walls, you know, when he was defending at the very initial start of the battle, if he was able to save one unit to go back to the town center, he would have won that battle. That's how close he was. That's crazy. So definitely completely capable. Oh my god, this army comp is trash. Look at this. Oh man. Yeah, not a fan of this army comp. And that's why he has 600. I'm sure he just kind of stood there. Look at that. 1, 7, 0, 50. And literally, this was a 1 versus 2. And he almost pulled it out. So, good game to the Romans. Good game to King Scourge. Also, you know, who knows what happened with this player. But what a good fight. Great never quit attitude. Hope you guys enjoyed this battle. Hope you guys are staying safe. Staying indoors. You know, being healthy. Staying, you know, being safe from this whole virus thing. Pretty scary stuff, but I'm sure it'll be over soon. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time on the battlefield.